Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I am here with a video about the dividends from our ETFs, and it's a version of 2025, so I'm planning on making more version of this in the coming years. If you don't like it, let me know down below. If you do like it, also let me know down below. And you see, I have 382 subscribers right now. I have a lot more viewers. I have 1,300 and a bit unique viewers in a week. So if you aren't subscribed just yet, hit that subscribe button. Then you can follow along my journey and my wife's journey from our ETF portfolio. I make a lot of videos. Some are interesting, some are not, but I believe that my channel is really informative. So if you want to hit that like button and subscribe button, please do so, and thank you for that. So this video is about, like always, my channel deals with dividend investing. So I thought it was going to be interesting to talk about the dividends from our 7 ETFs that we have in our ETF portfolio. So we selected those 7 ETFs to have an equal distribution of payouts throughout the year. We haven't reached the percentages yet that we want, especially from GLDV. That one needs to go up, but we are working on that, and we believe we picked 7 great ETFs. Otherwise, we wouldn't have picked them, of course. And what we want to see is stable and or growing dividends over time. So I'm also going to give the 5-year dividend CAGR. And CAGR stands for Compounded Annual Growth Rate. You can look it up what it means. So I'm comparing the dividend of 2025 compared to the total dividend paid out in 2020, and then just using a formula to calculate the dividend CAGR for the past 5 years. And in this video, I'm not going to talk about the current yield of those ETFs that we have, because it's an ever-changing number, and in fact, it's not really that important. We have bought already for years the same ETF, and then in 2023 we started buying the other ones. So SDGPEX we have already for years. So the current yield, actually, it doesn't really matter. It's more the yield on cost that is more important. And for us, it's important that the dividend continues to go up over time, because when the dividend goes up over time, that means that our yield on cost is ever increasing. So now let's get back to a slide that you have seen before. So it's the slide that I always use in my update videos for giving an overview of the dividends that we are going to expect for December. And in November, the end of November, I'm always happy because I know we are going to receive 5 dividend payments in the month of December. But then I start checking for all the information, and you see it here. It's all question marks. Really annoying. And even here, I let it here like it was in my previous update video with the wrong sign here. So it's dollar. It should be euro, but it's dollar. The same for FLXD. It needs to be euro, but it's also a dollar sign. But I corrected it this time. So now for XYLF, we know that today we are going to receive about $30 from our shares. So per share, we are going to receive $0.151945, and that's well above the dividend payment that they made last year in the same month. So nothing to complain about there. Our income ETF XYLF is doing what it's supposed to do, giving us a nice inflow of dollars into our Swiss quote account. Then we have LDEG. Sadly enough, I have to fetch the record date and the payable date always from somewhere else than the site of the provider. So I'm always doing that. From the moment that I see this amount appearing in the SIX stock exchange website, then I know I can search this one up in one of the many artificial intelligence chats. So you can use Lusha, you can use Copilot, you can use Gemini. All great to find these dates. They all three they find the dates, but unfortunately the site of LDEG provider is just, yeah, not good. And here you can see the amount that we can expect on the 19th of this month per share is 0.0478 euros, and that's well below the value that they paid out last year in the same quarter. But overall, we will see later, this year they still performed quite well compared to 2024. Then we can go to FLXD. So they went X coupon 2 days ago, and they are going to pay out on the 22nd, and they are going to pay out 0.3673 euros. And here, yeah, we have almost a 50% rise compared to the dividend payment that we received last year in the same quarter, so that's quite nice. And then we have VHYL, once again, just like the LDEG Vanguard website, not very keen on providing the record date and the payable date. But from the moment that you see the amount appear in the SIX stock exchange website, the artificial intelligence jets are your best friends. And as you can see, the amount that they are paying out, $0.459981, is a bit above the value that they paid out last year in the same quarter. So once again, our ETFs performing as they should be or should do. And then we have the emerging market ETF from Invesco. The X date was also yesterday. Today is the record date, just like LDEG, but they are going to pay out next Thursday, so on the 18th of December. And the amount that they are going to pay out per share is $0.2845. So overall, 5 dividend payments, all 5 except LDEG are going to pay out a larger amount than the same period last year. So we are really happy about that. And yeah, today we are expecting the $30 and a bit coming in from XYLF. And yeah, waiting for the other 4 dividends to hit our account. Okay, for VHYL we have to wait until the last day of the year, but it's going to come. And now we can go to our first dividend ETF that we have in our portfolio. We have 68% in our portfolio being SDGPEX or ISPA. So it's the iShares Stocks Global Select Dividend 100 UCITS ETF. And in 2024, these were the distributions that they paid out. And in 2025, they paid out these values. And as you can see, in the first quarter, it was a little bit lower. Also in the third quarter, the number was a little bit lower. But then in the second quarter and in the final quarter, especially in the final quarter, they made up a lot. And they ended the year well in the green compared to 2024. And if you look then at the past 6 years, so here you can see that the dividend payment for 2024 and 2025 was quite higher for 2025 than 2024. And it's a difference of 0.078 euros, and that gives a plus of 5.4%. So a plus 5.4%, I already gave this number in the video that I made 2 updates ago for our ETF portfolio. Really happy about that, and our 5-year dividend CAGR. So if you compare this number to this and calculate the 5-year dividend period, then you have a dividend CAGR of 8.4%. So that's really nice. I'm not neglecting the fact that in 2023 the dividend payment was actually higher for SDGPEX. So I know that the dividend CAGR in the next years is first going to rise because 2021 is a really low payment, but then it's going to drop again. But overall, you still see the trend that it's trending upwards, and that's what we want to see. Then we can go to GLDV, the Spider S&P Global Dividend Aristocrats UCITS ETF. And in 2024, they paid out these dividends. And in 2025, they paid out these dividends. So overall, every quarter, they paid out more dividends. So you can already expect when you look at the past 6 years that the number for 2025 is quite a lot higher than the number for 2024. And in the past 6-year payments, it's the highest amount that we have received so far. So GLDV, it's a quite neglected ETF. It's not that liked in the community because it's not performing like the other dividend ETFs in the past 2 years. But yeah, I'm buying more and more for our ETF portfolio. This month, normally, I'm also going to invest in GLDV because we still need to go to 25% in our portfolio, and we are at about 12%. So we need to buy more, and I rather buy at a cheaper price than when it's moving up quite fast, like all our other ETFs are actually doing. So in that regard, we are not complaining at all. And here you can see that there is a difference between 2025 and 2024 of 0.2443 dollars. So yeah, it's all in dollars for this ETF, and it's a plus of 19.3% for the GLDV. I already gave this number as well in the previous update video, but I think it's really important to emphasize that GLDV is really performing up to beat with their dividends. And their 5-year dividend CAGR comes down to 5.7%, so a little bit lower than SDGPEX, but still quite nice to have a dividend CAGR of 5.7%. And then VHYL, the Vanguard FTSE All World High Dividend Yield UCITS ETF. In 2024, they paid out these dividends, all in dollar. I'm going to say it from the get-go. Then 2025, they paid out these dividends. So all numbers are a little bit higher except for the third quarter, but they make up for it usually, as you can see here. 2024 compared to 2025. 2025 is quite a lot higher with a plus of $0.178304 or a plus of 8.5%. So here as well, a huge rise in dividend compared to 2024. And okay, 2022 was the biggest year for VHYL so far. Now 2025 became the biggest year. So the dividend CAGR is probably going to come down, but for now the 5-year dividend CAGR is plus 6.9%, which is quite nice once again. Then we have FLXD, Franklin European Quality Dividend UCITS ETF, where you see the dividend payments for 2024 in euro, 2025. These are the numbers that they paid out as a dividend. Once again, in the third quarter, the number was lower, but for the rest, the numbers were quite a lot higher than the previous year in the same quarters. So in the past 6 years, here you can see that, yeah, the dividend is only going up and up and up. 2024, it dropped a bit, but the overall trend is quite clear. And in 2025, we had a rise of 18.1% compared to 2024. And the 5-year dividend CAGR is an astounding 11.5%. So we are quite pleased with FLXD. The good thing about FLXD is that you also invest towards UK stocks. So not only European stocks, but also UK stocks. which is not the case for LDEG. There you only invest into European stocks, so it's ex-UK. It's already in the name that you don't invest towards really good UK dividend stocks. But it's the LNG Europe ex-UK Quality Dividend Equal Weight UCITS ETF. We are also really happy about that one. In 2024 they paid out these dividends per quarter, and in 2025 they paid out these ones. So once again, always rising numbers, except here in the last quarter. I already said it before, but they made up for it, because when you look at this, it's still a rise compared to 2024. Sadly enough, in 2020 the ETF wasn't around yet, and in 2021 we only received dividends for the last 3 quarters in this ETF. Okay, we own the ETF from I think it was October or November of 2023 that we bought LDEG for the first time. So we didn't receive those dividends, but other investors of course did. And if you look at the difference for 2025 compared to 2024, it's a plus of 0.0293 euros, and that's a plus of 5.6%. And the dividend CAGR, yeah, because I don't have 2020, I can't give the 5-year dividend CAGR. I'm not going to calculate the 4-year dividend CAGR because also the year of 2021 isn't complete. Next year I will calculate a 5-year dividend CAGR, but put in as a side note that the year of 2021 wasn't complete yet. And then we can go to our income ETF, the XYLF one, the Global X S&P 500 Cover Call UCITS ETF. In 2024, they paid out these dividends. So, okay, it's a bit overwhelming, but you can always pause the video. But the important thing is, here are the dividend payments that they did. So overall, you can see a rising trend here in this year. So they were starting about $0.10, and then later on it became 0.14, 0.13. So really nice that their amount started rising towards the end of the year in 2024. And then you see the NAV value. So the NAV value is actually the worth of the actual ETF. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, XYLF, it's an income ETF, it's not a good one, you lose a lot of NAV, so there is NAV erosion for XYLF. Well, look at this, it's in 2024, it fluctuates between 14.62 and 15.65. So not that great of a fluctuation, it's a dollar difference. And then in 2025, oh yeah, okay, here is the overview per quarter. I forgot that I put that slide in. So you have the overview per quarter payments, and actually they rose steadily over the year. And then we can go to 2025, and if you look at that, here the NAV went down to $14.50. It's of course because in April, 1444 is the lowest number. That's because of Trump announcing the tariffs, of course. But if you look at it, we ended the year at 15.33, and yeah, it's actually quite stable, the NAV, and it's not actually going down and down and down like a lot of yield max ETFs that you can buy in America. You have others as well, so I'm not only blaming yield max, but you have a lot of option ETFs available in America that are doing stupid crazy things and promising a lot of return. Here you get a return of about 8% in income, and your NAV erosion is actually negligible or not existent actually. Here you can also see they went up to 16.01. So it was increasing, and then because of the tariff announcement, it tumbled down, but everything came tumbling down. And then because it's a covered call ETF, the way that it goes up, it's way more slowly than other ETFs. I realize that, but you get a lot of return in income. And here you can see the quarterly payments, so aggregated every 3 months for the quarterly payments then. And here you can see, okay, in the second quarter they paid out the most amount, but if you compare quarter to quarter, there was only an increase. So you can look then at the past 6 years. Okay, it was only around for 4 months in 2023. So this was the amount, the total dollar amount that we received in. We bought it for the first time in January or February in 2024. So other investors, when they were investors from the first month in XYLF, they already received 0.47 and a bit dollars. And then in 2024, it was the first complete year, it was 1.36. And in 2025, it was 1.63 almost. So a difference of 0.2658 or a plus of 19.5%. So I'm not complaining at all with owning XYLF. Quite happy to own it and have the inflow of dollars coming in. 5-year dividend CAGR, I can't give it, so it's only question marks. Then we can go to EMHD, the Invesco FTSE EM Emerging Market High Dividend Low Volatility UCITS ETF. And they pay out dollars, and these are the past 4 quarters of 2024 in dividend payments. And then in 2025, these are the past 4 dividend payments in 2025. So once again, look at this. Only in the third quarter there is a decline, but a nice increase in the first quarter, in the second quarter, and also in the fourth quarter. So overall, you see again an increase for 2025 compared to 2024 of $0.0989, so a plus of 7.5%. And if you look at the 5-year dividend CAGR, there we have a nice rise of plus 4.8%. And I know here in 2021 it's 1.8143, so next year and in 2022 as well, it's going to be hard for this ETF to have a positive dividend CAGR. But yeah, 2021, 2022, I don't know exactly why it was that they paid out so much higher dividends. Now it's more or less comparable to 2023. But we are really happy about owning this Invesco high dividend low volatility ETF. It's really performing how we would like. This year it's gaining a lot in actual value as well, so we are happy about that as well. So the conclusion, our ETFs performed quite good the past year and also in the past 5 years with a lot of positive CAGRs to be announced in this video. Of course, in the next years, it's going to be hard to improve those dividend CAGRs because, yeah, in 2022, 2023, and even you saw for EMHD in 2021, the dividends were high and sometimes even higher than the dividend that they were paying out in or paid out in 2025. So yeah, it's always a bit annoying that the dividend can go down as well for those ETFs. But for now, we are really happy with the dividend CAGRs that we see for our ETFs, and our overall ETF portfolio is really performing quite nice this year. And LDEG and XYLF are still a bit too young to give the dividend CAGRs, but you can see there the trend is moving up as well. And then a word about XYLF, because there is so much negativity about covered call ETFs. Here in Europe, you have 5 covered call ETFs, and they are all 5 really good. Then you have a 6th one, that doesn't pay out monthly payments. It's quarterly payments that they make. What is the ticker symbol once again? I'm going to look it up. So it's WinC, and it's only available in the rest of Europe, not so in the Xetra, on the Xetra stock exchange and German stock exchanges. It's available. It's not available on the SIX stock exchange, but that one is also selling put and call options on their stocks. So in that regard, it's maybe a bit better to also gain from rising prices in the stock market. But I believe that the covered call or the option-based ETFs that we have here in Europe, those six, so those 5 covered calls and then WinC as well, they are actually way better than all those quite dangerous, high-yielding ETFs that you can buy in America. And yeah, then the NAV erosion, I don't see it for XYLF. So for me, I believe XYLF is a really good ETF. And also we like the income that is steady growing and is also really high. It's the highest for our ETF portfolio. That's why we bought this income ETF. And with that being said, thank you for watching to this one. Hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that like button as well. That helps out my channel enormously. And thank you for watching to this one, and see you on the next one.